Thank you. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and Debbie, you want to go ahead and call us to order?
Here.
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 All right, the pledge. Chief Wright, you want to lead us in the pledge?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get into new business. Chief Wright?
Thank you. I request a motion to approve the full-time appointment of James Watkins to the position of Assistant Fire Chief and authorizing an employment agreement detailing all other associated benefits pending successful completion of all pre-employment requirements and serving a one-year probationary period, noting that all associated expenses to be that of the township.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, Debbie, roll call.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes. Chief Wright?
Thank you.
Sure, please.
I just want to say thank you to the board. Thank you, Chief Wright. Thank you to the tremendous amount of family and friends that are here in support. I appreciate it. To all the Pierce Township members that are here, I'm excited to come and work with you. I hope to get to know each of you on a personal basis as we work together as a team in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Assistant Chief. All right, Craig.
All right, I request a motion to approve the appointment of Michael Masterson to the position of Deputy Fire Chief at a salary of $77,000 with all other associated benefits and serving a one-year probationary period.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Thank you.
No pressure on the speech because he was a lot better.
Yeah, I too want to thank you guys for the opportunity to move forward with this. It's been a great ride with this township for many, many years. It's kind of bittersweet. I've got a bunch of guys back here that definitely not going to be the easiest guys to leave. So, but you know,
Or work with, really. Or work with, right?
Yeah, definitely to work with. But yeah, I'm very excited about working with Assistant Chief Watkins here. You know, I think we've got some really bright days in the future now. So it's gonna be a good ride for everybody. Thank you.
Glad to hear
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
All right. Chief Wright, you want to tag on the other one you said you had?
Yes, if I could, presented a motion to you if I could add with the addition of our two new chiefs, puts us in a little bit of a bind with office space and furniture. So I have a quote to purchase some furniture. So I request a motion to approve the purchase of 2 modular workstations for the chief's offices from Office Furniture Connection in the amount of $4,250.
Make the motion.
Seconded.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
And Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Debbie.
I request a motion for resolution 2022-007, authorizing the use of ARP funds for the design and bidding of the park playground improvements in the amount of $24,000. As you know, we passed a resolution last month with the other items that we needed. So that was a total of $43,900 last time. And I need these resolutions when I do my report for the ARP funds.
Now, this isn't additional funding. This is separate funding,
Yes.
right? So it's inside the 43,900.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad we're able to use these funds.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Motion.
Seconded.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes. All right. And why don't we go ahead and we'll do the swearing in. So Doing both at the same time or one at a time?
Whatever you
Doesn't matter.
prefer.
Why don't we do it?
So we have assistant chief and deputy. Yes, sir. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
the state of Ohio,
the state of Ohio,
and of Pierce Township,
and the Pierce Township,
to which I am appointed,
to which I am appointed,
and to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
will discharge the duties of this office.
to discharge the duties of this office.
I will faithfully and honorably strive to protect our future,
I will faithfully and honorably strive to protect our future,
protect the safety, lives, and property of our citizens and my fellow members.
protect the safety and lives of our citizens and my fellow members.
Very good. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir.
Elected officials, of course we will.
Sure. Family, come on. Family. Oh, you guys are a picture too. All right, can I do one more? Sure. Any fire department members or friends have been here on the picture you guys do, so. You guys gotta come up too. Thank you. Gotta get safe. You all fit? We're gonna have to do this in a parallel. Wait for that. All right, well, first we come. I'm sorry. Good. All right. Thanks, guys.
I'm ready.
All right, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
the state of Ohio,
the state of Ohio,
and of Pierce Township,
and of Pierce Township,
to which I am appointed,
to which I am appointed,
and to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
will discharge the duties of this office.
will discharge the duties of this office.
I will faithfully and honorably strive to protect our future,
I will faithfully and honorably strive to, I got it screwed up there.
protect our future.
Protect our future.
We have to start over. Protect the safety, lives, and property
To protect the safety, lives, and property
of our citizens
of our citizens
and my fellow members.
and my fellow members.
Yes.
They wish you
some pictures you guys want.
I hate to get a picture taken, that's why.
Stay in the background. Come on, Valerie. Yeah, your mic. Yes. Okay, yeah, we're about, I'm on that road. Yeah. Yes.
Hmm?
All right, welcome aboard, gentlemen. So we're on to other business, and Eddie, you had something that came up recently you wanted our opinion on?
Yep, yeah, I'll bring this up on the.
We're full of
projector.
opinions. We can offer those. No problem. Bottomless pit.
Answers.
Well, you've got this in your packets. For whatever reason, the PDF's not coming up on the screen here. Well, there it goes. Why
It's
it's
just sneaking across the screen.
So Duke Energy recently contacted us, and they have two pieces of equipment in Grove Park that you can hardly see on this here, of course. Okay. So having some technical difficulties, but those are two pieces of like transformer equipment in Grove Park, right along our right of way. Now, they said that they need to clear about 10 feet of fence off of that particular area. So let's see. Gosh, it's killing us here. So they need 10 feet removed from either side of both of those transformers. And they said basically they would not do it, but they needed the township to do it. It's not necessarily imminent, but as soon as possible is their preference that it be done. And so the second and third pages that you have in your packets show the street view of those two different pieces of equipment. And so I wanted to bring it to your attention. There's not necessarily a decision that needs to be made tonight. However, I did bring it to John's attention as well. So he's aware of it, and he appeared to be comfortable with essentially doing the work, but we will need to come to a decision on how we want to approach this, because leaving those two gaps in the fence would probably be pretty awkward.
Yes.
So it's of course, whatever your preference is going to be. I haven't had a chance to speak to the Parks Committee about it. I'd imagine that they might have some input, but of course, the decision's ultimately yours to make on it.
How come the fence has probably been there a long time and now they want it removed?
Well, so the fence, let's see. The fence was constructed by the village. So we just inherited it. And one photo that we don't have is the photo across the street, which is in Woodside Park, which you can see here on the southern portion of Woodside Park Drive. The fence extends and is actually taken care of by the HOA. So a portion of it is HOA. This portion is ours. And it's all the same kind of white picket fence, you'll notice as well. So I don't know if anyone has any strong feelings about it in particular, but
I don't have a strong feeling. My question stands is why now? I mean, at the village, right? Do you have any info on that or no?
they had a technician drive by and notice it,
Okay.
was what I was told.
They're just waiting for us to take over and give us a hard time.
Yeah.
Well, probably it ties together with the streetlights. They're in the neighborhood. They saw it. And that don't rule out the fact that the village may have been this may have been brought to their attention
Yeah, that's true.
and they just didn't do anything about it because, well, they dissolved.
Yeah.
So
This looks like the same fence, right? It is the same fence. It's what's on the other side.
It
I mean, the
is.
same pattern and so forth.
the same, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's decorative. I'm familiar with the neighborhood. Is there a way to kind of just cut the fence, just so that there's a part of it left towards the front of the park where you just stop the fence at a certain point and then it does not continue? In other words, no gaps?
We could. One thing that came to mind when I was looking at this was maybe what we could do is we could move it behind the equipment and make a 10-foot clearance that way. Potentially, we could cut it. We could jog the fence. But there's an aesthetic, obviously, on both sides when you go down Woodside. Granted, right now you can't really see the transformer. So if we move the fence behind the transformer, you could then see it, but at least we'd have the fence intact. So, but yeah, as far as they're concerned, if we just take out 10 feet on either side of it, they're totally fine. So
I mean, my suggestion would be to let's see what John recommends in this scenario. You know, whether or not he's got the wherewithal, the capability and the bandwidth to actually do the work.
okay.
And then we can take action on it later. I'm not particularly in a hurry.
How do you
Understood.
go back to the overhead shot if you don't want?
I don't think we're in a hurry on it either. But my guess would be the residents of the neighborhood would like the approach. If it's, if we retain some portion of that, just because it looks like nice when you come in, you got fencing on both sides. It's kind of like a Kentucky horse farm.
All right, that's
Pretty
okay.
extreme technical
Well, my
difficulties
point
here.
was that, when it comes time, based on John's recommendation, for us to finally decide what we might do on this, which could be a little while.
I need some time to think.
I do too. Yeah. You're going to be left with, it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense not to move it or to just take it based on how you're going to be left with a little piece of fence right in the middle of those two things and maybe possibly a very small piece in the very end. See how those are laid out?
Mhm.
You go 10 feet on each side of those. So 10 feet in from either end. I'm assuming you're left with a little piece.
Yeah, it's not a perfect splice.
Right. So, all right, you want to see what John has to say about it?
That would be what I would recommend. Let's get some detail from John.
Okay.
And then, maybe we have John put it on a work order. When he's ready and he can get to it, he can get to it.
Yeah, he is busy. Okay, we don't need a motion or anything, do we?
No.
All right, any other business to discuss? No? Okay, any public comment?
I just want to say, congratulations to Assistant Chief Watkins and Deputy Chief Masterson and welcome aboard. And also to my daughter Addison, it's her 13th birthday and she reluctantly is along for the ride with me. And
And
thrilled to be here.
how great you got to spend it here with us.
Yeah.
Happy
happy
birthday.
13th, Addison. Looks like she really appreciates that.
Addison,
Oh, yeah.
Addison, Addison. Please rise.
Oh, no.
Could you stand up, please?
Oh.
Come on, just for a couple seconds. I would do this to my own daughter, okay?
Oh, that explains a lot, doesn't it?
So at this moment, I think that warrants, since you're here with us, that we all need to sing happy birthday to her. Do you not agree?
Absolutely.
I think so. And everyone in the crowd, if you would just join us all in singing happy birthday to that mortified woman over there. Who's going to, yes, and probably beat me in a couple seconds. So if we could please, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Addison. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Addison.
All right, who's paying for the therapy?
I think it's covered in our insurance, I think.
Good.
Her mom can handle it.
All right, anything else?
After that, I mean,
That's,
how do you top that?
All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Roll call?
Mr. Baird?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
And Mr. Sharp?
Yes. Thanks, guys. Welcome
Thank
aboard,
you.
fellas.